interesting and productive morning this morning. My name is Ernesto Matache. I'm the Political and Health and Safety Director for Local 338 Retail Wholesale Department Store Unit. I want to start off by introducing Roger Clayman, our Executive Director for the Long Island Federation of Life.
First of all, welcome. President John Durso says hello. He's unfortunately couldn't be with us at the beginning. He'll be by later on. I want to thank the committee for all the work that they've done. Also want to thank Usco, Brandenstein, and Rodden for being really kind of like consultants and guiding us in the right direction. They work with us year-round, every day, understand which direction the law is turning and twisting.
Car dealer sent out a memo to all the employees to please sign, okay? And basically it said, we're very strict about immediate notice of injuries, and if you don't give 24-hour notice, you're waiving your right to workers' comp. Basically told them that you're gonna get that letter unless they rescind it in writing in 24 hours, which they did. But the point is that a lot of employees are stupid enough to actually put that kind of fraud in writing where, God forbid, somebody brought it to you, without the attorney for the union intervening. I think we did them a mitzvah by telling them to take it back. Yeah. Because I think that would be totally actionable.
The idea behind the original guidelines was something called best practices. So if you tore your ligament in your knee, and they knew that if the doctor followed these best practices, you get an MRI, it's positive, then it doesn't respond to therapy, you get arthroscopic surgery, that the doctor would not need therapy for any of the treatments that they're requesting, that if they follow this practice, then it can just go along and speed up the system. However, as you know, these guidelines are not in place yet, nor they're not implemented, and no one has tested them yet. So how they're going to exactly work, we can't say yet.
One key thing you need to understand with workers' comp is the employer takes you as they find you, which means if you have a predisposition to a disease or you aggravate something, it's still a work-related case, it's still a comp case, but your burden is much higher. On these types of cases, typically, all these things we talked about come into play. It looks, from first blush, like a pretty simple case, right? Looks like a simple case. A guy's using a hammer all day long, probably developed some sort of tendonitis or carpal tunnel syndrome. What's your diagnosis, doctor?
I have to look at the case more carefully. So did he have numbness and tingling in the correct distribution for the median nerve?
If an occupational doctor thinks defensively, what other things can affect this case? What other defenses will be raised? How solid is this case?
Go into court and go before the judge and say, well, we need surgery authorized. Okay, we're going to authorize surgery, we're going to authorize post-operative physical therapy, and they're receiving ongoing benefits. Are there any other issues? No, not right now. And in favor, no further action, we're closing the case. And I was, well, how is that possible? Well, if there is no other issue until one of the parties applies to reopen the case, they're not going to have a hearing. And that's one of the ways that the Workers' Compensation Board has reduced the number of hearings that they've had and to reduce the caseload. So that case could go on for 2 months, and then the carrier says, oh, I just had an examination and they're not a total disability anymore, so I want to reduce the benefits, so let's go back in front. Okay? Or that could go on for a year.